Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Megan and today I'm going to be talking about BPPV, what it is, what symptoms it can cause and how to treat it by yourself at home. And I will also be talking about how to differentiate between a BPPV attack or a vestibular migraine episode and also triple PD as well. So first of all, what is BPPV? Well, it stands for benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, which is a mouthful, so we just say BPPV, and it is a peripheral vestibular disorder, which means it is affecting the vestibular system itself, one of the components of the vestibular system, as opposed to a central vestibular disorder, which will be something like vestibular migraine or triple PD or MDDS, that is affecting the nervous system. So I know that many people on my channel will have either had BPPV episodes before or are very scared about getting one. But I'm really here to ease your mind right now because I have had BPPV episodes so many times. Apparently I'm just susceptible to episodes of BPPV now because I've had it before. I might still be a little stressed from what I went through. If you don't know, I dealt with triple PD/MDDS symptoms for about 4 years, and in that time I have had at least 10 singular episodes, probably more than that though. I actually had one last weekend. And back in the day, at the beginning of my dizziness journey, they were absolutely terrifying and I was just beside myself. I had no idea what to do about it or how to treat it. You know, I actually remember once in my bed, in my flat in London ages ago, I couldn't lay on my right side because it would just spin out. So I had to lay on my left. And if I had known then what I know now, I could have treated it like that. But unfortunately, I had to go spend about £150 on a specialist in London to diagnose me and then treat me. Yeah. So before I get into how to actually treat it yourself, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the symptoms it can create. Now, the most obvious symptom of BPPV is, of course, a spinning feeling, so that's vertigo, and it can be either the room looking like it's spinning or you feel like you're spinning. Now, these episodes of vertigo are usually caused when you roll over in bed, if you've been laying down on your left side, for example, all night, and then you suddenly turn to the middle really quickly. That is one of the causes of BPPV. Another real life example was my partner had an episode of BPPV last year, and he actually shook his head like a dog after the shower. Obviously loosened some things up in his inner ears, went to sleep, and then sat up the next day, and then he had an episode of BPPV. So it's usually caused after spending a lot of time still in one position and then moving quickly. And this can also be the case after people have dental surgeries, you know, if they're leaning back in the chair for like an hour and then sitting up, that can cause it. It's usually very quick. It doesn't take a long time to kind of kick in. It wouldn't just happen, I don't know, like an hour after you get out of bed and then suddenly it would happen. It's usually very quick and very obvious. And of course, the main symptom of this as well is fear. It is absolutely terrifying to have a dizzy attack that doesn't seem to end, or you have no idea when it's going to end or what's happening to you. I totally understand. So if you have had an attack like this in the last few days or weeks, definitely check for BPPV because you could be saving yourself so much time and money by treating this yourself at home. And I'm about to show you exactly how to do that. So there are 3 different semicircular canals in the inner ear: the lateral, the anterior, and the posterior. Usually, BPPV only affects the lateral and the posterior canal. The lateral canal is also known as the horizontal canal, and that is how I'm going to be referring to it from now on. So you may have heard of the Epley Manoeuvre, and that is used to treat BPPV of the posterior canal. But what do you do when that maneuver is not working for you? Well, you might actually have BPPV in the horizontal canal. I don't know why, but for me, my horizontal canal is usually the one that gets affected, so I don't even check the posterior canal anymore because I just know it's going to be the horizontal canal. But for you, if this is the first time you're doing this by yourself, you might want to check both canals just to make sure. Of course, if you check one and you have symptoms, there's no need to check the other. But if you don't have symptoms, say in the horizontal canal, I do encourage you to check the posterior canal as well, just to make sure. So the way you check for horizontal canal BPPV is by setting up a pillow on the floor. You can also do it on your bed. And what you want to do is this. Start by sitting upright, then slowly lower yourself until you are laying flat on your back, looking up at the ceiling. We're going to check the left ear first, so flip your head and look over your left shoulder. If you have BPPV of the horizontal canal in your left ear, then you will feel a spinning sensation in this position. If that's the case, then you can skip the video to the actual maneuver and complete the full maneuver. If you don't have any spinning, then what you're going to do is flip your head back to the center, and we're going to check the exact same thing on the right side. So flip your head over and look at the right. Again, if you have spinning in this position, then skip ahead to the maneuver and treat the right side. The maneuver I have in this video is treating the left side, but all you need to do is do the exact same thing in the opposite direction. Now that's the test complete, and you'll either have no spinning or you'll do the maneuver. Okay, so here I am setting up for the horizontal canal BBQ roll. So as you can see, the way you begin is by sitting up in front of the pillow and then slowly lowering yourself back down until you are laying flat facing up at the ceiling. You want to stay in this position for about 30 seconds because you might have spinning in this position. If you still have spinning in this position after 30 seconds, wait another 30 seconds or just until the dizziness fades. It should fade after about a minute and a half total. Once the dizziness has faded, I do recommend to stay in that position for another 30 seconds just to make sure. Now I'm showing you how to do the BBQ roll on the left ear. So now what I'm going to do is flip my head to face the left side. And again, time this for about a minute. Once the dizziness subsides, now we can move on to the next movement. Now the next movement is to look back at the ceiling. Again, hold this for a minute and then an extra 30 seconds to really make sure that the dizziness is gone. Next, you want to flip your head to the right side and hold until the dizziness subsides. I know it might feel really uncomfortable, but you are totally safe, I promise. This cannot harm you, and you are going to feel so much better once you have completed this. So hold this for a minute or a minute and a half, depending on how long it takes for the dizziness to subside. Usually for me, a minute and a half is plenty of time. Now the next maneuver, I didn't really have much room here, but it's okay. You want to roll over onto your front and look straight down at the floor. Again, hold for a minute and a half. Then, once you finish that, all your hair is going to be in your face. And then you want to look at the left side again and hold for a minute and a half. Then you're going to sit up, and that is the end of the BBQ roll. Now, when you sit up, you might have really odd sensations still. You might feel a bit stirred up. So I recommend to just sit up for about 5 minutes until you lay back down or do any kind of other movement. To set up for the Dix Hallpike manoeuvre, you need to place a pillow on the floor, quite a thick one, that will go underneath your shoulders, so when you lay down, your head will kind of be hanging off upside down. Now, I'm going to check the right side first, so what I'm going to do is quickly turn my head to the right and then lay down upside down, as you can see. Keep your head where it is. If you have spinning in this position, then it's highly likely that you have BPPV in the posterior canal on the right side. If you don't have any spinning, then you can sit up and do the exact same thing on the left side. And that is the test complete. For this demonstration, I'm going to be treating the left ear. So as you can see, I flip my head quickly to the left and lay back. Just like the BBQ roll, you're going to want to hold this position for about a minute and a half to really make sure the dizziness has gone. Then, once you've held that, you're going to flip your head over to the right side. Again, hold for about a minute and a half. Then you're going to flip yourself over, and I'm sorry you can't see me right now, but you want to keep your head where it is. So it's going to be looking towards your shoulder at a 45-degree angle. You want to keep your head where it is and look down at the floor, kind of looking diagonally at the floor. Then the last move is to just sit up and look down at your knees, and I would hold that again for about a minute and a half until all dizziness has subsided. And that is it. Just a little side note here, I just finished recording all the maneuvers and stuff and no symptoms, okay? I just want to reassure you that you will get over this. You will get past chronic dizziness. It will not last forever, okay? And please go back and watch my other videos if you are suffering from BPPV, MDDS, vestibular migraine, all of that, because I give you so many tools to use to start to overcome those symptoms, okay? Now let's talk about how to differentiate between BPPV, BPPV, MDDS, and vestibular migraine. Now, out of BPPV, MDDS, and vestibular migraine is going to be the one that more closely resembles BPPV attacks. But the key determining factor in whether it's a migraine attack or a BPPV attack is how long does it last. Usually, BPPV attacks are very short-lived and they only tend to occur in specific positions. I'm talking from personal experience here. When I wake up in the morning, I'm sleeping on my left and I turn to the middle and I have a spinning attack. That is BPPV. Now, vestibular migraine, on the other hand, might also have a spinning attack involved, but there might also be other symptoms like nausea, light sensitivity, sound sensitivity, head pressure, or even pain, neck pain. There's a lot of other symptoms that can accompany a vestibular migraine attack, and usually people seem to kind of know when it's brewing. You know, you can kind of feel yucky the day beforehand and then it kind of happens. BPPV, there is no warning, which I know sucks. This is like you wake up, you turn to the middle, the room spins, or you feel like you're spinning, and then if you stay in the same position for like a minute, it usually settles back down and the spinning stops. It's only when you move your head again that the spinning occurs, and that would not really happen with vestibular migraine. The spinning would probably continue even in certain positions, and that's kind of how you tell the difference between the two. Now, in between BPPV attacks, it's definitely possible to feel kind of off and dizzy and slightly floaty because your vestibular system has just had an assault to it. You know, it definitely takes a few days to kind of cool off from that. But I will say that I had an attack on Saturday. I was very anxious about something, another thing, don't worry about it. I was very anxious, and then the day after I woke up with BPPV. It was 6 a.m. I checked my phone and I was like, this is all I need. But I did the BBQ roll and then I went back to sleep, and when I woke up I was absolutely fine. So back in the day, at the beginning of my journey, the BPPV symptoms afterwards would kind of take a few days to resolve, but as time has gone on, it's gotten easier and easier to deal with, to the point where I don't waste time anymore. You know, I just do it, go back to sleep, get on with my day. You know, it doesn't bother me anymore, and it certainly does not take days to resolve. It's gone in like an hour tops. So I really hope this video is helpful for you. If you have any other specific questions about BPPV and how to help yourself through it, then please comment below and I will answer you as soon as I can. And as always, if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe because it helps me to reach new people. Take care everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.